One more time.
Adobe Canyon.
Uh-huh.
Wires are arcing. There is no active fire, and we're continuing 2 engines.
So Adobe Canyon is no active fire, just power lines arcing?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, hang on. All right.
All righty.
All right.
And you'll let us know if anything changes?
Yep.
Fire medical dispatch. County with a transfer flame scene, Adobe Canyon Road.
Yes, where is everybody? We're right in our backyard, and there's no fucking fire engines here. It's on Mountain Home Ranch Road.
Do you see
know
a
where
fire?
the Myacom is? Yes. I had to drive out because I would have died if I stayed.
Ma'am, where's the fire? What is the cross street?
Mountain Home Ranch Road
And what?
Petrified Forest Road.
And Petrified Forest. Okay, and what's on fire, ma'am?
It's not active. It's down the road.
Okay, that's where the fire is?
Yes.
Okay, and what's on fire?
The land, houses.
Okay.
I just heard an explosion, so that's not the...
Okay, we're gonna come out there.
propane tank.
Okay, so
We
explosions
need
heard.
people immediately.
Ma'am, I've got people
fire
coming.
engine was out here earlier, and
Yes. I'm so sorry. We're coming. Explosions heard. How big is the fire? Do you know?
how big is the fire? Huge, acres.
And Kathy, as you mentioned, we're here in Somis on Donlin Road near Moore Park. This is one of those areas.
The large-scale fire burns across multiple homes there. This is the video earlier. And Philip, you were there. You can tell us what we're looking at.
Well, this is part of that area that Leo Stallworth was in, where the firefighters were able to. It's just ground video of some of the things that we've seen. This was today, earlier this morning, Ventura County. There were a number of reports of brush fire, and as you can imagine, all of the people we heard from witnesses say that they smelled it, they knew that it was upon them, and look at this was today, earlier this morning, Ventura County. There were a number of reports of brush fire, and as you can imagine, all of the people we heard from witnesses say that they smelled it, they knew that it was upon them, and look at the thing that.
A lot of thick, heavy brush, and with that thick, heavy brush comes a lot of thick, heavy embers. And when the embers fall, they start a fire next to a home on, a tree or something like that, or get into the eaves. Once you lose one of these homes, there's so much fuel inside the home, all the furniture, all the building supplies they built it with, that it just erupts, and then it's hard to stop the embers from that home to spread to another home in this type of wind. So it's extremely difficult from what we're looking at right now to see if any of those homes are on fire. I don't think they are, because what we see when that happens is we usually see a plume of black smoke coming out from the white smoke. Right now it looks like most of this is just a fire burning from the ridgeline and pushing itself down over these homes. But it's dangerously close, and in situations like this in the past, in these types of winds, when we had a situation like this, in most cases we do lose people trying to get out. You got firefighters and engine crews trying to get up. They want to get them out of the way. The firefighters don't want to have to worry about the residents. They want to just concentrate on knocking down the fire and saving the homes. But we did have an assistance call that went out on Santa Cruz, I believe, an elderly person that needed help. It was 8972, I believe, Santa Cruz. They want to get them out of the way. The firefighters don't want to have to worry about the residents. They want to just concentrate on knocking down the fire and saving the homes. But we did have an assistance call that went out on Santa Cruz, I believe, an elderly person that needed help. It was 8972, I believe, Santa Cruz.
Breaking news right now, a raging fire at this business in Monrovia. Let's get more from Chris 7HD. Chris. mark a huge pallet fire on the corner of Mountain Avenue and Huntington Drive. You can see that fire has now extended to the commercial store, hundreds of feet into the air. Over 100 fires from LA County Fire fighting this fire. They were at all costs trying to protect that warehouse near the top of your screen. And what's happened in the last few minutes is that the flames have crept through the firewall. Embers have flown onto the roof of the building, and now that building is very vulnerable. There were firefighters on the roof where you're looking at right there just a few minutes ago. And also a few minutes ago, we have some video to show you as they had to rush into action and try and evacuate one of their fire trucks. As the fire closed in on the fire engine, there was debris, flaming debris, actually blowing onto the fire truck, almost catching that fire truck on fire. Firefighters immediately able to back the fire truck into reverse and take that fire truck out of harm's way. Still though, that alley is loaded with more product that is going up in flames right now. As you can see, this is a body of flames and thick black smoke pluming thousands of feet into the air.
Here and see what we're dealing with now as I go in. I mean, here you can see, look at the intense flames spitting out of that shed. Whoa, and an explosion right there. Whatever was right there just exploded live on camera. You know, you see this truck right here that probably has fuel in it as well. So whatever is in here is.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, that was one transformer there, but it's not the one that we're about to tell you about. At 5:52, there was a transformer that exploded, and as a result, 51 people.
Burn at this pallet yard in Compton. I'm Brandy Hitt along with Leslie Sykes. We want to get straight to Scott Reif once again in Air 7 HD. Following this now for 2 hours, Scott.
Yeah, it's a massive blaze, and they're nowhere close to being able to put this fire out. It spread from the pallet yard to this bus yard. They've lost at least a dozen, possibly more buses, and you can see how intensely the fire is burning. As we pan to the right, that entire row of buses right there, they've just backed off from. They figure they can't put that out. They can't stop it, and they're concerned about the safety of the firefighters because we've had a lot of explosions and power lines arcing, transformers blowing up. Also, if we open up...
Breaking news of the brush fire in Montecito Heights. LAFD ground and air crews working to put out these flames. We told you about this just a few minutes ago. It's called the Monterey Fire. It is in Ernest E. Debs Regional Park near Monterey Road.
We were talking about how, you know, SkyCal taking a live look over the scene here. Really a lot of flames and really heavy brush. It seems like the winds have been fueling this one to burn more uphill. You can see all the crews there right now trying to put this out.
You are off of Donlin Road. How far are you from Los Angeles?
We counted 83 homes that have been destroyed, and I'm afraid that number is going to be much closer to 100 because it's hard for us to get a perfect count. But almost every home there on Santa Cruz was destroyed with this fire, and they had...
We're all in agreement
that something very strange, very unique and new has happened. Right. And have you been to tour the areas? Have you looked around at some of the areas?
Only what I've seen on the internet from overhead.
Gotcha.
And I just drove down 101, so what I could see from the freeway.
So what do you just conjecture? What do you think these firemen who are looking at these fires they've never seen before and talking among themselves? How do you think are they talking about it? What do you think because they've never seen anything like it either. And, listening to that Berkeley engine number 6 that came up and their whole journey through it, they were totally astounded where they couldn't even set up a base station to start fighting from because everything was on fire. We have 100,000 square foot Kmart. They were totally astounded where they couldn't even set up a base station to start fighting from because everything was on fire. We have 100,000 square foot Kmart completely torched by 3 a.m. in the morning where these fires leapt across 8 lanes of road and torched the Kmart on the other side of the road. What kind of fire does that?
A fully sprinklered building.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is California has one of the highest sprinkler laws in the country.
Not natural phenomena. Unnatural phenomena. Unnatural phenomena. Like I said, I've never seen anything like it.
Probably just a matter of time before we see this one going up in flames as well.
All right, we want to bring in Marina Jurica. She's joining us now with this cover.
I'm on Lake Avenue and Mendocino Street. Multiple home Lake, L-A-K-E Ave, and Mendocino Street. What appears to be a bank is on fire, an apartment complex, more buildings along the street. I mean, dude, it's paradise. This is like war zone again. I can't get any pictures out right now because of connection, but It's bad. I'm gonna hang out because I need to get my mask on again because it's buildings are gone. Yep. See ya.
Yeah, I live right here. Okay. Yeah. Good. Come back.
And we're trying to defend it against our neighbors.
Okay.
And there's space around it, but we're having a hard time with buckets. Can you please help?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll let them know.
Hey, that lady was saying that they're trying to defend a home up there. It's her home, but I don't know how you guys can pass through here. Yeah, they're trying to defend it. They're using buckets and bowls, and that's what she was telling me.
Which one?
I don't know. She's running down the street over there. That's her right there down there. There's just no way to go though.
Lightens it, brightens it. What I'm suggesting to you. Orthodox is a Greek word, Islam is an Arabic word. Either you accept Islam or you don't. He's a mainstream Muslim. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you get me in no stream. I'm not interested in mainstream because the folks that run Main Street are in control of everybody in the mainstream. I ain't that and never will be that. I am a Muslim and I will never compromise my faith to please your ignorance.
My name is Jenny.
Tony and Adrian, the Carr fire takes the spot for the 6th most destructive fire in California history. The Record Searchlight newspaper obtained the 911 dispatch calls. Tonight, we listened to those calls and heard their desperate pleas for help.
911, your emergency.
I ran a dozer. All the windows got blown out. I got my curtains down.
July 26th, 2018.
Okay, if you can get out safely, get out, okay?
I can't. No, I have to have a ride out of here. It's all on fire around it.
A man trapped inside of a dozer with the car fire raging on all sides.
Stay in line, okay?
I'm sure a couple of these guys got killed.
What was your first name, sir?
Don.
Don. Okay.
In audio of the calls posted on the Record Searchlight website, Dawn and the dispatcher went back and forth trying to pinpoint his location. She assured him help was on the way, but Dawn warned of the danger.
Don't risk anybody's life for mine, but as soon as it lays down, send somebody for me, please.
Of course I will.
It's unclear what happened to Dawn.
Can you just stay on the line for me, okay? Just good. Okay. Dawn, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I'm going to have you call your wife. And I'm going to get someone out there as soon as possible, okay? All right, bye-bye.
Now, the identity of the man in the dozer is still unclear. The car fire burned for more than 2 months, and officials say it was sparked after a trailer with a flat tire ignited nearby brush.
You just hear the emotion, certainly in Dawn and the dispatcher's voice going
Right.
through that as it was happening.
He's trying to stay calm in all of that craziness.
Gives you chills. Macy, thanks.
To this now.
What has been your toughest, your hardest exorcism as you look back?
It was in the Bronx, New York, in 1983. And it was a young priest.
A young priest?
Yeah. Who was possessed. And it was long drawn out. It was bloody and disgusting, and took a heavy toll on everybody involved.
Can you tell us the manner of the possession? How would a priest be possessed? Was he himself doing an exorcism?
No. He yielded piece by piece by piece, because it's never sudden. It's never sudden. It's just a little bit here and a little bit there, and he yielded to temptation. It wasn't sexual temptation either. It was pride and arrogance. And then this mystery of choice comes in, the selectivity. As I said before earlier in the broadcast, Art, there's no profile. We try to create a profile. There's none. Some men who are very naughty are not possessed. Some men who are possessed are not very naughty in their lives. They're not crooks. They're not evil in that sense, but they are possessed. So, but why he yielded, God only knows. It's free will, of course. But it was a very distressing thing, and involved a lot of people, involved his whole family, involved his whole parish, involved the local bishop.
Wow.
And it was very distressing. And he emerged from it, but he succumbed after a short time. He died.
He died.
He was cured. He was saved, but he died, and he came out of it utterly white. And he was a young man with a big shock of red hair. And a young man, he was a young priest. But the rot had started very early on in his family. He had never told anybody anything about it. And it was the most distressing thing I've been through. It really was the most distressing one.
How did you come out of it?
I came out of it with a little bit of me dead, quite frankly. Something I can't get back until eternity when God rewards me, I hope. But something in me died.
It takes a little piece of your of what, Doctor? Your faith of.
No, it takes a little bit of. You know, Art. Look, we're both adults. You know what vitality is.
Yes.
And what verve, and as the French call it, sens d'attaque.
Yes.
The power of tackling something.
Of course.
When that's diminished and diminished and diminished, then that's why I speak about little bits of you departing. Little bits of you die. It's a sacrifice you make. You can give, the analogy I use was children to whom you give love. You can't get it back.
Of your life essence or energy.
Yeah. You can't give it to somebody else. You give something which is of your very soul, and we willingly do it as parents or as parish priests or as counselors. But I know sufficient number of psychiatrists and psychologists And I know they expend themselves for the sake of their patients. And they can't get back what they give. They get money, sure, yes, but that's no substitute at all.
So then when it happens to a priest or somebody of great faith or a service to God, it is harder, it is deeper,
It is. And you know, that's if you were to get close to the present Pope, that's what strikes you about him at certain moments. A complete draining of his spirit.
But the first thing is there will be insoluble problems. Problems that will harrow the souls of men and women. Number one. Number two, there will be a map, visible, tangible, to be. We have experienced down in Florida and Sackler County and a few more places, far from heaven. That's a joke compared to what's got a few more places, far from heaven. Counting a few more places, far from heaven. That's a joke compared.
And the America it has shown us on our screens these last 48 hours has appalled us.
Holy crap. It validated several things that I'd heard from others, and it was pretty shocking because he knew too many things that people shouldn't know unless he saw what he claimed to have seen. Now? I just said that I cannot. Okay, well, yeah. Thing you could find on the internet, lots of people have written about this particular issue online. Right. And I'm like saying, how does this guy know this stuff? So we continue to exchange email from there on, in October of this, and said that he had been working and realized that he was probably onto something. So when we began talking, it turned into Skype calls pretty quickly, and I realized that this guy knows hundreds of things nobody else has spoken to. And some of the insiders that have spoken to others have told me a whole lot of things that they did not share with anybody else. So we're starting to deal with a very, very huge story.
And let me point to the president!
Jesus fucking Christ! Shut up! General Burkhoff, is any unit there? Go back to the motor.
That's where this is getting out of control. Those little demon embers.
And why you showing us that is it's the example that we've all been describing throughout the day, that the winds with those kind of embers just keep this thing moving.
This event was the worst case scenario. It's the event that we have
feared for a long time. And over the course of the years, we have worked hard to develop a plan to evacuate people in this event. That said, you need to understand that factors can exist that make even the best plans not perfect or not the exact outcome that you want. And in this case, very, very rapidly being pushed by some very, very strong winds.
Miles, fucking 100 miles, infinity miles, because that would also be over 1 mile. So apparently wildfire embers can travel an